Alright guys, I am on my way to Barnes & Noble. I've got about an hour drive. I'm excited to check out this store. I haven't been to this particular store in a little while. I'm curious to see what they have. Hopefully they have some decent stock. I told myself I was done, and I was looking at the titles that I picked up this time, and I was adding them to my collection, putting them in line where they go. And I started looking at my list of titles that I wanted, and I started adding to it, and I was at about 30 titles, and then I got that sinking feeling like, oh my god, the next sale's not till November. Oh my god, maybe the flash sale in October, I guess, but I'm like, I don't want to wait that long. Oh my god, okay, it's August 3rd. Alright, I'm going up there right now. So that's a little bit of how I was feeling last night and this morning. So I'm going to go up there and pick up some more titles that I feel like I'd regret if I had to wait till October or November. So we'll go ahead and pick those up. See what they have. Alright guys, I have arrived. Look at this beautiful facade. This brick Barnes & Noble. Alright, let's see what they've got. Alright guys, I have made it home, and it's actually the next day now. I'm going to show you all the titles that I picked up in the Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion Blu-ray sale. There is some good news. The sale was supposed to end, but Barnes & Noble has extended it for an additional week. So if you're watching this video around the time when it's being uploaded, you have about another week to get to your Barnes & Noble to try to pick up some titles. If not, you'll have to wait till November or October for the flash sale on their site if you want to get them at the discounted prices. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the titles that I picked up. I picked up 20 Criterion Blu-rays during this sale. So I'll go ahead and jump into that. First up is the 1948 Italian film Bicycle Thieves. This movie is fantastic. It's about a poverty-stricken family in post-war Rome. The father that you see on the cover, he actually gets a brand new job where he's going to be going around the town, going around Rome, putting up different posters. Well, on the first day of his job, as you can probably tell by the title of the film, his bicycle gets stolen, so he can no longer do this job that's going to get his family out of the situation that they're in. So he goes around Rome, and he has his young son with him, and they're trying to find his stolen bicycle, and that's the premise of this. It's so good. It makes you feel for this family, it makes you feel for him, makes you feel for his son. Just a fantastic film. Highly, highly recommended. If you have not seen Bicycle Thieves, see Bicycle Thieves. Alright. Next up is the 2001 film Ghost World. This stars Thora Birch, as you may recognize from American Beauty, as well as a young Scarlett Johansson and Steve Buscemi. I really like Steve Buscemi in this movie. He's like a goofy old guy that collects vinyl records, different rare things. I don't know. It's just, I really like his character in this. I first watched this movie probably around 2003. I worked at a Blockbuster, and I went through this stage of life of like discovering punk rock. So I didn't know anything about it, so any movie that I could find that had seemed punk rockish to me, I would watch it. And after watching things like Sid and Nancy and SLC Punk, I was trying to see what else I could find, and I remember looking through the store and seeing this movie and seeing, I believe, a picture on the back that has Thora Birch with green hair, and I'm like, okay, this is absolutely for me. I didn't get what I was expecting from the film, but back then in 2003, but I discovered a great film nonetheless, and this is a great movie, and it's definitely worth checking out. Next up is the Howard Hawks movie His Girl Friday. It stars Cary Grant. I think this movie speaks for itself. Wonderful classic. Definitely worth checking out. His Girl Friday. Picked up another Howard Hawks title starring Cary Grant, and this one is Only Angels Have Wings. I've yet to watch this one. Also picked up Roman Polanski's Macbeth. Next up is The Graduate, starring Dustin Hoffman. And I believe today is actually Dustin Hoffman's 80th birthday, so happy birthday, Dustin Hoffman. He's got so many great films. I have a soft spot in my heart for Hook, in his performance in Hook. Love Hook. But The Graduate. Alright, next up is the Martin Scorsese movie, The Last Temptation of Christ. I have not seen this one, and I don't know too much about it other than there's some controversial elements. but I was trying to complete my Stanley Kubrick, my Martin Scorsese Blu-ray collection. So I went ahead and picked that up. Look forward to checking it out. Next up is a Stanley Kubrick film, and it is 1964's Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This stars Peter Sellers. He actually plays 3 different characters in this movie. It's like a satire on like the Cold War. It's a very interesting movie. It's different than what I was expecting. The acting it's over the top. It's a great movie, fantastic movie. I love Peter Sellers' performance, and everyone in this does such a great job in it. So, if you haven't seen this and you buy this though, I would highly recommend not looking at the artwork. If you don't want spoilers, don't look at the artwork on the inside of this, because when you pull the slipcover off of this, the picture that you see is something that happens the last scene of the movie. So if you want to go into this spoiler free, and I know this were what, years and years later, it came out in 1964, so most people have seen it, most people know what happens. But if you want to go into this spoiler free, like I wanted to, don't look at the art. Pull it out, have someone else pull it out for you, remove the disc without looking. But fantastic movie, definitely check it out. Another Stanley Kubrick movie that I picked up is The Killing. And another Stanley Kubrick film starring Kirk Douglas is Paths of Glory. This is a 1957 film. This is different than what I was expecting, but it was still really, really good. Kirk Douglas plays a French colonel from World War I, and he basically goes up against all of like the top brass in the army about an issue with cowardice of some of his men. And that's basically the story of this movie, and it's fantastic. Though the acting in it's so good, the story's totally different than what I was expecting, but it was really, really good. Highly recommended as well. Alright, next up is another fantastic, great movie starring Marlon Brando. This is from 1954. It's On the Waterfront. I went for so long only knowing Marlon Brando from the Godfather movies. And those are obviously great movies, some of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. But if you want to see him in a young role, obviously we have stuff with him like Apocalypse Now, great films. If you want to see him young in kind of like a totally different role, check out On the Waterfront. Great movie. Next up is Frances Ha. I watched this and I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best film in the world. It was good though. It's 86 minutes, so not too long. And I enjoyed every minute of it. It was a good watch. I discovered this I was watching either the Criterion Closet or the Amoeba What's in My Bag with Edgar Wright, the guy that did Baby Driver and Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and all that stuff. And he talked about this movie, and he said it was very Woody Allen-ish, which I can see. And then they showed a small clip of it, and in that part they showed Adam Driver, and I'm a big Adam Driver fan, so I wanted to check this out. Enjoyed it. Wasn't the best film in the world, but definitely worth a watch. Next up, I picked up some Hitchcock films. I picked up The Lady Vanishes. I know it's blasphemous, but I have not seen this yet. I look forward to watching it. My wife is a big fan of it. I also picked up the recently released The Lodger. And the next Hitchcock film I picked up was Foreign Correspondent. This movie's from 1940. The wife and I sat down and watched this the other night. I enjoyed it. It's not the best Hitchcock film. Not my favorite of all of the stuff that I've seen with him. And it felt a little long at points. It almost felt like I was watching several different movies at one point. It just felt long. It was good. I would give it probably a B+. Definitely worth checking out. The transfer is beautiful for a movie from 1940. The special features is loaded with special features, and I was glad to see it. It was a Hitchcock movie I'd never seen before, and I was glad that I checked it out. Next up is It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. 4 Mads. Look forward to jumping into that one, checking it out. Next up is, I'm a big Daniel Day-Lewis fan. Wanted to check this one out. I've never seen it. 1985's My Beautiful Laundrette. Next up is Francis Ford Coppola's Rumblefish. And then the 1931 movie M. I've heard lots of great things about that. I look forward to watching it. Last up, number 20 is The Island of Lost Souls. This is from 1932, and this is an interpretation of H.G. Wells, an adaptation of H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau. They've made several remakes of this since then, including, I believe it was 1996 or 1997's Island of Dr. Moreau, and it actually stars Marlon Brando. That movie is terrible. If you want to watch a terrible movie, go watch that movie. If you want to watch a good version of the story, watch this Island of Lost Souls. The makeup in this is fantastic. The makeup work for the monsters is fantastic. You get to see Bela Lugosi. I love his character in this. Fantastic movie. It's loaded with special features. Several different film historians are talking about it, and they hype up the movie, and it makes you want to go back and watch it again after you watched it. It's so good. And John Landis, there's a John Landis interview in here as well. Highly recommended Island of Lost Souls. Alright guys, those are all the titles that I picked up from the Barnes & Noble sale. I cannot wait till October for the flash sale, or November. I'm trying to hold off until then. Now that we have this extra week of the sale going on, I might have to head back up there and get some more, but I'm going to try not to. Also, I have another Blu-ray and DVD collection update that I'm going to be doing soon. It should be uploaded this week. I've got a ton of cool stuff. Scream Factory, Shout Factory, a bunch of cool box sets that I want to show you, some complete series stuff, and some great movies. So I look forward to uploading that and showing that to you guys. But thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it.